Together we build the pride that won't end. With every new member, our strength will grow. In unity and service, together we'll glow. To those still with us, let's continue the fun. Serving from the heart, our journey's just begun. With laughter and joy, we'll brighten the day. In the Lions Club, we'll find our way. Join the Lions, lend a helping hand. Together we can make our community stand. With hearts united, let's spread the cheer. Join us today, the Lions Club is here. Join us today, the Lions Club is here. Join us today, the Lions Club is here. So step right up, don't hesitate. Join the Lions Club, it's never too late. Together we'll shine, together we'll grow. Join us in service, let your spirit glow.
Yes, Lion Diane, over to you.
Better? Okay. I'm going to begin. Good evening, Lions of District 60B and A. We are having our new Prospective new member orientation session this evening. The invocation will be done by Lion Hyacinth Jeremiah Melvin Jones Fellow, second Vice District Governor.
Is everyone hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, creator of heaven and earth, we come before you this evening in awe of your mighty power and unending love towards us. You are worthy of all praise, and our soul exalts your holy name. We thank you for this day and all the successes and challenges we encounter as we continue to build our faith in you. You equipped us with peace in the midst of chaos, clarity in the midst of confusion, and hope in uncertainty. As we begin this virtual district members orientation at a meeting, we ask for your divine presence and guidance in everything we do. Bless the leaders of this great organization as they lead us for this Hellenistic year. Bless the presenters with wisdom as they share their insight and knowledge with us. Grant them clarity of mind, confidence in the presentation, and a spirit of humility. May the presentation inspire and uplift us and to go out there and do the work that we are called to do. Bless each participant with a clear and focused mind, and so that we can receive, understand, and grow in knowledge and skills. And in so doing, we will return to our clubs inspired and to use the information for the development of this great organization. Let this time together be fruitful and enriching to everyone. Father, we place this meeting into your great hands. Have your divine way. And may whatever we do and say and this evening bring honor, glory, and praise to your holy name. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Lion Hyacinth, Jeremiah, Second Vice District Governor. And again, welcome Lions, distinguished Lions, Leo Lions and Leos of District 60B. Welcome to our prospective new member orientation session. And now we will have the district governor's remarks.
Good evening, my fellow Lions, Leo Lions, and Leos of Subdistrict 60B, and a special welcome to our esteemed Global Leadership Chair and GMT Chairs, Lion Diane and Lion Daffodil. It is my honor to welcome you all to this very special District 60B Prospective New Member Orientation. A very warm welcome to our esteemed presenters, Second Vice International President Mark Lyon, our esteemed Council Chair, Dr. Lion Dr. Carlisle Goddard, and our past Council Chairs, Lion Eldred Stephen and Sherwin Greenwich, as well as Lion Lynette Fita. I wish to say thank you for your unwavering support and commitment to advancing our District 60B membership drive. We do appreciate deeply your efforts, which are pivotal to our ongoing growth and impact. I must say, this orientation is not just a session, it's an opportunity. Whether you're a new Lion beginning your service journey or a seasoned member, today is about unlocking new perspectives and resources. The knowledge and inspiration shared here will empower each of us to deepen our service, strengthen our leadership, and expand the legacy of Lions. Unfortunately, Lions and Leo Lions, due to work requirements, I'm unable to join you in person today. It is indeed disappointing not to be present for such an important gathering. However, I want to encourage each of you to seize this opportunity, the opportunity to learn, to engage, and more importantly, to reignite your passion for service. We are called to be catalysts of change, and this session equips us with the tools and connection to do just that. Together, let's renew our commitment to igniting the flames of service and to ensure that we need our members to be larger, to be stronger, and that way our impact will be deeper and our services will be more impactful than ever before. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive and enriching session.
And now we will have the introduction of our special guest speaker, none other than our international second Vice President, Lion Mark Lyon. Mark S. Lyon, second Vice President, International President, is from Brookfield, Connecticut, US of A, was elected to serve as second Vice President of the Lions Club International, as the Associates 106th International Convention held in Melbourne, Australia. Prior to his retirement, March 2024, Vice President Lyon worked in corporate legal administration and financial services with several major corporations and banks for over 40 years. As a longtime resident of the Brookfield and an active volunteer in his community, church, local government, his connection with Lions was already well established before he became a member of the Brookfield Lions Club in 1996. Since then, he has held a number of offices within the association, including International Director, multiple district council chair, and multiple district GLT coordinator. He was appointed as a member of the LCI Forward project team, a global action team, area leader, a district governor-elect seminar group leader, and board liaison to the 2019 USA-Canada Lions Leadership Forum Executive Committee. Vice President Lyons has also served as presenter, faculty, and as a participant at countless training events and leadership forums throughout the years. In recognition of his service, he has received multiple international presidential awards and international president's certificates of appreciation, as well as the International President's Leadership Award. Vice President Lyon is also a recipient of the Ambassador of Goodwill, the highest honor the association bestows upon its members. Additionally, he has been recognized as a Connecticut Knight of the Blind and a Connecticut Ambassador of Sight, and is the recipient of a number of project and service-related certificates. Vice President Lyon has been active in numerous professional community organizations. He has served on the board for the Silver Lake Conference Center and Wide Horizons for Children. He was an associate member of the American Bar Association and a past member of the Association of Legal Administrators, the Society of Corporate Secretaries and Governance Professionals, and the Shareholder Services Association. Vice President Lyon is a progressive Melvin Jones Fellow. His wife, Lynn Lyon, is also a longtime Lyon and a progressive Melvin Jones Fellow. They are proud parents of 3 incredible daughters. And let's give a resounding roar for our second international Vice President, Mark Lyon.
Thank you so much, Lion Diane. I'm really honored to be here with you tonight. This is a unique opportunity to speak with prospective members from across MD60. I know this event is sponsored by 60B, but I understand that there are also people from 60A involved, and that's a good thing because we have a great story to tell, not only to remind our current members of the great organization that we belong to, but to talk openly and candidly about the great opportunities that Lions International offers for prospective new members. And I know you have a long session planned with some great speakers. They're going to talk about everything from the history of Lions to the benefits of membership and the benefits of service opportunities. So I just wanted to spend a few minutes, if I may, just to thank you first we have over 100 people, just about 100 people on this call tonight. And I think that is a tremendous illustration of not only the leadership that we find in 60B, but also the interest of the Lions in serving in your communities. Lions, as you know, is an international organization, and we've been around for over 107 years now. That is an amazing accomplishment all by itself. But we have taken on numerous challenges over the many, many years that Lions have been in existence. From 1917 to in our very humble beginnings, I want to note for everybody an event that took place in 1925, almost 100 years ago, when at the International Convention, Helen Keller was the special guest. And it was at that time that she challenged the Lions who were there to become her Knights of the Blind in the crusade against darkness. And that really became the genesis for our first global cause, which is to work with the blind and the visually impaired. But for many Lions who are on this call, you already understand that we have taken it far, far beyond working with the blind and the visually impaired. And that should remain foremost in most people's mind because it is that foundation upon which Lions is based. But we also take on additional responsibilities on a club-by-club basis with so many other global causes. We work on environmental issues. We work on problems dealing with childhood cancer and diabetes awareness. We work on youth initiatives, and we work on environmental causes and hunger issues, just to name a few. In short, Lions are allowed and permitted and encouraged to do whatever service is needed in their own communities. And we look at our community not only as where we live, but the global community, because Lions are in person in over 200 countries and geographic areas around the world. And there are nearly 1.4 million of us doing service every day in every corner of the world. When I was asked to join today by Lion Diane, she wanted me to talk about, why I'm a lion and why I want to continue to be a lion. And that's very easy for me to say, is because from the very first day, my club got me involved in activities that made me feel proud of being a lion and gave back to the community that I had lived in for almost my entire life. We live in a small town by Connecticut, USA standards, a small town that's now of about 17,000 people. But we have unique needs here, just like you do in your part of the world. Unique needs that Lions truly understand and respect. And that's what makes our club so strong, is because we understand the communities that we live in. We have unique connections that allow us to reach out to organizations and individuals, government, faith-based organizations, and other organizations to talk to them about what we can do to help. Lions have this amazing reputation of being the group to call on when you need help, when you need someone who doesn't mind getting their hands dirty and is ready to pull their boots on and just get to work. That's who the Lions are. And that's how we've staked our reputation for, again, over 100 years now. Lions itself is an organization that was formed by a group of business people, people in the insurance business, but it has become an organization for everybody. There is no background, no culture, no language that is not represented within Lions. And that makes us very special. We hold a unique position in the world and in our ability to make a change. A couple of years ago, our international president, Dr. Patty Hill from Canada, challenged us to change the world. And that became a calling for all of us to feel empowered to make change in the world, especially following the global pandemic period when we were not allowed to get out and do things with our community. And we've come back in a big, big way. Our clubs are very much growing. Our clubs are very dynamic in what they do. Again, we have a saying in Lions that it's your club, your way. We want to make sure that the members of your clubs understand that they are able to have their voices heard and to take on projects that are really relevant right in your own communities or that are important on a global basis. We had an initiative quite a few years back of planting trees around the world. We really focused on our environmental cause. And I think the goal that year of our international president was to plant 1 million trees around the world. And today, Lions are still planting trees, and it's in the tens or maybe even hundreds of millions of trees that continue to be planted around the world. So you can see we have an impact with everything we do. We have a unique organization. It's based in the Chicago area in Illinois in the USA. It's a very small team of very dedicated professionals whose job and purpose it is to keep the Lions up to speed with resources and materials to make it easier to serve our communities. So the opportunities for leadership, the opportunities to get more engaged in service, the opportunities to increase our membership, and the opportunities to extend our organization by creating new clubs is something that our international headquarters team is very, very focused on. And all of our new members, whether they be brand new or they've been around for a long, long time, understand that our headquarters team is always there to add whatever they can to make us successful in our local clubs. The clubs are the bedrock of our organization. Members join our clubs. They don't join our international association. They join to be a member of a local club. So it's important that we share the importance of that with all the prospective new members so that they know that they have a say in what our clubs do. We want to encourage all of our club leaders, from the club presidents through the secretaries and treasurers, to encourage new members to have a voice, to talk about the types of projects that they would like to accomplish and to help them to accomplish those tasks. We want all of our Lions members to be fulfilled in their service as Lions. And we feel that we offer unique opportunities for Lions of every background, every world, every culture around the world to do what they think is best to take care of their neighbors in need. We want to be able to use the resources that our international association provides for us to dig deeper into our communities, to find those populations of people that are underserved or not served at all. That's really our goal going forward, is to find new ways to reach deeper into our communities to take care of those that may be struggling, that are right in front of us. But we have the ability to do that, and our new members are our greatest strength. We're on a mission right now called Mission 1.5 to grow our membership. But it's not just a membership drive. It's not just about numbers. It's about being able to provide more service to more people in need. And we know that the world is always changing. The world is always throwing unique challenges at all of us. And Lions know that we are the first line of defense in many people's lives. We're the ones that our clubs rely on, that our communities rely on, the help of our local Lions. So I want to encourage all the people who are considering joining this evening, all those prospective Lions, to really understand that we are an organization that is inclusive, it's balanced in what we do, and it opens up the doors of opportunity for everyone to participate and feel that they're getting something back by serving as a Lion in our organization. There's a lot more I could get involved with. I am extremely passionate about this organization, as you can imagine. I've been a member for nearly 30 years now, almost a little over 28 years now, and I am still learning. There are so many things to get involved with our association. And at the local level, you have district or multiple district activities that want to pull people in and teach them new things. We have constitutional areas around the world that are based on our continents, and we have learning opportunities that take place in each of those areas every year. And of course, we have an international convention every year as well. And the upcoming event is not too far geographically from where you're based. It's going to be in Orlando, Florida in July of 2025. So now is the time to consider joining. Now is the time to make an impact on the world and to offer your unique perspectives to who we are as Lions. I couldn't be more proud to be here with you tonight to talk to your prospective Lions, but I know we have a busy agenda, and I want to turn it back to Lion Diane, who's put together a great program for this evening, and let her take the reins again. I will be dropping off very soon. I have another meeting that's already in progress, but I do want to thank you for listening and for your time. And for those Lions that are on, thank you for being Lions. For those that are thinking of joining, please give it every consideration. The Lions from District 60B are there to help you and guide you and give you confidence that this is an organization that really respects who you are and what you want to do to help change the world. So thank you so much for your time tonight. Have a great call, and I look forward to seeing you in our journeys in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vice President Lion. It's really truly amazing to have you here today with us to share. I am Lion Daffodil Sampson. I'm the GMT chairperson for 60B. And before you leave us, we'd like to open the floor so our attendees can ask any question. And you can please unmute your mic if you'd like to ask a question, or you can also place the question in the chat and we'll read it. Lion Diane will be back with us shortly. My question that I have for you, what would you say is the most rewarding experience that you've had as a lion in your service journey? I know you've been at it for a long time, but what is it? What is it that you believe stands out among all of your experiences that keeps you going to this day as a lion and keeps you serving your community?
Mhm. Thank you for the question, Daffodil. I can think of a lot of things that are important to me. I love speaking with our lions. I love to talk to people that have been involved in our organization for long periods of time and short periods of time. But I'm going to go back to a very early activity that I was involved with at my local club level, because it's what really allowed me to make a connection as to what an amazing organization Lions is. And our club was working to find a device for an individual who was a war veteran who was losing his sight. And he still had some vision, but it was very, very limited. And our club purchased a magnifying device. In that day, almost 30 years ago, was a big tabletop device that anybody could use. They could put a magazine or a newspaper or a picture on it, and would magnify it so someone with low vision could read things. And they invited me as a new member to go to this individual's home and present him with this gift. And just the joy on his face, he didn't realize that he could keep it, that he could keep this device to help him through the day, so that he could, read the newspaper or read he could read the coupons from the local food store and clip coupons and things. Just everyday things that we take for granted. We gave him that gift to be able to do that in the normal course of his day. And that made such a huge impact on me, just to be able to see the joy in this man's face, and understand that we were giving him something that no one else could give him. And that was what Lions were all about. And just something that stays with me to this day.
Thank you. Thank you. That's truly amazing. I do have one question. One of the benefits we've realized as Lions is the ability to grow as individuals. We've learned in Lionism that lessons that take us even that we can utilize within our workplace, within our personal lives.
Mhm.
You are now our second vice president for Lions International. How would you say that being a lion have changed you personally and helped you grow?
It's given me a lot of confidence in the ability to manage projects, to work with people of very diverse backgrounds. We have some tremendous leadership opportunities that are always changing with the times and making it very relevant to who we are as a society of people today. Uh, the opportunity to learn about managing people, about conflict resolution, about communication, things that we don't think about or we take for granted in our personal and professional lives. Lions offers you those learnings that are tremendously beneficial, not only in your service as a lion, but in your professional lives and your personal lives, just in working with people. And we are a very people-centric organization. We have to be. We're trying to help people to have a better life every day. So the skills that you can learn, if you're receptive to learning, we have a program for you, and they're just constantly coming up with new ideas of new learnings that all of our Lions can take part in. They're open for everybody.
Absolutely. I've experienced that personally, especially with the newly launched Lions Virtual. So yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. I do have one question from a Prospective member. She has asked, what has been your biggest challenge in serving?
Biggest challenge in service for me is to find the balance. There are so many opportunities that we have as Lions to serve in unique ways. And honestly, Lions are very enthusiastic. We want to do as much as we can. We want to help people everywhere with every part of us, of our being. And so sometimes the hardest part is to temper your enthusiasm and focus on what is most important at that time. We know that, again, the world is always changing, and we have to be able to slow down sometimes in order to focus on one thing that's really important for people around the world at a given time. So having the patience and the willingness to learn and adapt to change is always going to be a struggle for people, but it's something that we need to continue to look at as Lions so that we can have a greater impact across the globe.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do we have any other questions from the floor? If we do not have any further questions, we can.
Lion Daffodil, I will. Good
Lion
night.
Dan is back with us. Dan, do you have any questions before we lose our?
You can hear me, Lion?
I see Nichelle Smith with a
Yes.
question.
Oh, apologies. Yes, Lion Nichelle, please go ahead.
Yes. To you, Vice President, what advice do you give to upcoming Leo Lions or Leos that want to transition into Leo Lions? And what tips can you give them as they transition into Leo Lions?
I am so glad you're on this call, Nichelle. Thank you so much. The people talk about the fact that Leos are our future, but Leos are our now. Leos have a tremendous impact in our organization now. And we continue to try to find ways to bridge that Leo to Lion gap. We don't want to lose our Leos. So we've created that membership category of Leo Lion to keep people engaged, to keep Leos or other young people that fall within that age group of our Leo program engaged in our service. And we want to continue to emphasize the importance of the young voice. We started an initiative a few years ago called New Voices. And at that time, in 2018, it was really focused on women and young people. But over time, it's because as more women have joined, they've taken on leadership roles, but we need to continue to focus on young people like yourself. We want to make sure that our clubs appreciate and understand the gift that you have to offer to Lions International. You offer unique perspectives on projects, unique management styles, unique ways of learning that we need to share together. And so it's very, very important that the Leo Lions and the Leos continue to stay with it. There could be pushback from some parts of the world, but we have to work beyond that. We have to let people know how important our young people are to Lions organization. They are going to be the international directors and the international presidents in the very near future. We know that, and we have to honor that and look forward to your service. So we want to try to do everything we can to make sure that your voice is heard and that you have a seat at the table. That's the most important message I can share with all the young Lions out there and young Leos out there today.
Yes. Over to you, Diane. You're on mute, Diane.
Hello again. And we'll have the introduction of our first presenter, Lion Amaral Newton, Progressive Melvin Jones Fellow. She is the president of the Lions Club of Tortola.
So sorry. Apologies, Diane. Give me 1 minute, please. Thank you, Vice President Mark Lyons, for being here with us tonight. I know you cannot stay with us, but if you can stick around as long as you can, we will have another Q&A. But please, thank you so much. You've answered a lot of our questions, and we're looking forward to having another session with you, hopefully in the near future, that we can continue our conversations with you.
That would be wonderful. And thank you again for your generous invitation to join and have a great meeting this evening.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Good evening, Randan. Should I go ahead?
Yes, you may.
Good evening, Lions. Lion Eldridge Stevens became a member of the Lions Club of Vieux Fort in January 1981. His life as a Lion began as a good story to tell, for within 3 years of becoming a member, he was catapulted into the office of presidency, albeit by default. Lion Eldridge has also served his club as vice president, secretary, tail twister, tamer, director, chaired several committees of the club, and now serves as the membership director. At the district and international levels, he has served in the offices of zone chairman, region chairman, chairman of several district committees, vice district governor, and chairman of the Council of Governors, becoming the first St. Lucian to occupy the latter chair in the multiple districts. He is a Progressive Melvin Jones Fellow and is a recipient of many international presidents and district governors awards for his dedication to Lionism. He is also a holder of the International Leadership Award Medal. Lion Eldridge currently serves as Sub-District 60B Nomination and Elections Chair. He has also served as MD60 Sentinel Activities Coordinator, MD60 Protocol Chair, and also as the Global Leadership Team Coordinator for Multiple 60. In another sphere of his life, Lion Eldridge could be described as a consummate community worker. His exploits in the field of sports and cultural organizations, particularly in athletics, cricket, and football, is worthy of note. Lion Eldridge is a retired businessman who owns and operated a air cargo handling and insurance agency for the past 30 years. A business now managed by his son, Lion Ron. Lion Eldridge was appointed High Commissioner for St. Lucia to United Kingdom during the period 2008 to 2012. He is a Justice of the Peace in and for the island of St. Lucia, a serving brother of the Order of St. John of Jerusalem, and was honored by Her Majesty the Queen as a member of the Excellent Order of the British Empire for service to community and country. Please join me in welcoming Lion Eldridge to present on the history of Lionism.
Thank you very much, Lion Amaral, is it?
Yes, correct, Amaral. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind introduction. Not very often that one likes to sit or stand and listen to some of the stories about himself. But that in itself connotes history of individuals. I know the Lion chairperson. Thank you for the invitation to contribute to this workshop this evening. I also want to thank the second vice governor, the second vice president. I'm getting old, it seems. Mark Lyon, for the contribution that he made during the process, because I thought he highlighted some of the key points that relates to the history of our organization. And also he was going to be, I thought he would have gone on a little longer. So it would have removed some of the load from me in the whole question of history. He did add some fairly good credence to the subject area. I must therefore say that some of us do not think very highly of history. For us, history is mundane. It's not interesting. It's not exciting. It's not like the parties we organize when we meet at conventions or at zone meetings or whether it's a region meeting. It's not that. It's not like when we go out to the field to serve the people who are in need in our community. but it is a foundation. It is the cap from where all the knowledge base is settled, and we cannot ignore it. It's there we learn of the successes and the failings of our forebears. For they did fail in some instances, and it is from these failings or successes that we begin to learn and develop ourselves into better individuals to serve mankind far better than we do today. So those who went before us left lessons for us to learn. And it is in this context that the history of Lions Clubs International must be viewed. It is building on a foundation which has been set by those who went before us. And, someone said to Lion Diane earlier on, you needed to change your position. Yes, history helps us to change our position or our thinking or our inclination on particular subject areas that we do not seem to know very well. So those of us who have had the opportunity to look at history, as it were, will tell you that it has served them well. And at this point, I would like to be able to share my screen if I would be allowed, please.
You are able to share your screen.
Are we on there now? So we will do a little slide now, as best as I can, to go through this pretty quickly, because I note there are other speakers on this session. So you see, with us, having said what I said earlier on, Michael Crichton said to us, if you do not know your history, then you do not know anything. You are like a leaf that doesn't know it is part of a tree. You cannot be in an organization and you do not know anything about the organization. So to set off on a good footing, you must therefore begin to educate yourselves about the organization you intend to join. If you do not know your history, then you do not know anything. You are like a leaf that doesn't know it is part of a tree. And I'm sure those of us who are part of the organization do not want to be like that leaf. Our organization was founded. This is not working well for me. If you would just permit me, please. I think I got it there now. It's a little better. Our organization came about because of one man who did not have to do this, because at that time, his interest was focused on dealing with luncheons with businessmen, exchanging ideas, how they could do themselves better, how they could improve their own businesses, and how they could maybe increase their lot in terms of their earnings. But of course, in the human, there is a kind heart. And when we meet and we speak, sparks fly. And when these sparks fly, they have a tendency of getting us into a situation of doing not just for ourselves, but for others. And so this man, Melvin Jones, I am sure you've heard about, born in January 13, 1879. And so, having gotten that idea, he thought, hey, I need to do something about it. So he soon realized that like-minded individuals who possess the drive and ambition to run a successful business could come together and apply their skills to do a lot of good in the community. That is what drove him. Why do we only sit together to do things for ourselves when we live in a community? And so by the year June 7th of 1917, he decided, I need to do something about it. And it is told that by 1950, that idea he had risen to the mark of 400,000 in membership. Today, we boast of 1.4 million members in an organization. And of course, we do spin in that organization well over $700 million. So it is important for those of us who know we can make, we need to be able to share the goodness of our hearts. This is the man who said, you can't get very far until you start doing something for someone else. And that quote, we as Lions must continue to carry with us every inch of the way. Every day, let's remember that. You can't get very far until you start doing something for someone else. That's our founder. The origin of the name Lion. On June 17, 1917, the invitation, of course, that was sent out, they met in Chicago. And it was there, at discussions, a number of names came up. There was already an organization with the name Lions. And so they decided to put it to a vote. And overwhelmingly, they came back with the answer that we shall use the name Lions. International was not there yet because it came a little later in life. But the Association of Lions Club was formed, of course, simply called Lions Clubs International. And I understand from the grapevine, we may very well be changing soon and shortening the name. If that's not done yet, I might be a little bit rusty in that regard. So they decided during this meeting, we need to have a logo. And the logo, of course, is what makes us identifiable. We're identified by people as we wear our vests. But the only outstanding thing on that, or the most outstanding thing on that vest is that crest with the logo of Lions Club. This logo recognizes that we here must be a respectful organization, for people respect us a lot. It has been modified, but it has maintained its substance throughout. The golden L in the field of blue surrounded by a circle, a yellow circle, or a golden rather circle. On either side, we have two profiles of lion's head. One is looking at the past, the other looking into the future. If we do not have a past that we are proud of, if we do not have a past that we can stand on, how can we look forward with optimism? How could we look forward with some optimism into a future? So we must know what our past is about, and we must ride it, embrace it, cherish it, so we can deliver as we move forward into the future. One head looking forward, one head looking backwards. A reminder of the things that we have done, whether it's been successful or we have had failings, because we can build on our failings as well as our successes, and we go into the future to make this world a better place. And of course, organizations like that, you don't leave them without a motto or a slogan. And our motto is, we serve. We, collective. It's not an I thing. I see no letter I in the words we serve. Some of us in the movement continue to believe it's about us. It's about I, me, I do, I do, I do. No, it's we. It's a collective. And it is this notion of being a force, being together, sharing ideas, sharing resources that will make the world a better place. And being subservient, being servile in all cases. This is going to help us make a better organization. And our slogan, taken out of the word lions, L, liberty. We are free as a people. I, intelligence. We are, for the better part, educated. Our, the collective again, our, nations, N, nations, and F, safety. Liberty, intelligence of our nation's safety. Lions clubs became international when the first club was formed in Windsor, Ontario, Canada in 1920. That is the time it took on the dimension of an international association. Because initially, it was only within the boundaries of North America that the movement functioned. Once it went outside of that scope, it became international in outlook. Earlier on, our second vice president indicated that there was a woman who said something in 1925. And it is upon this, during this meeting, that she made a statement that we should become knights of the blind in the crusade against darkness, the foundation on which our premier project, our premier core element is based on sight, vision. And so it is important for us as we go along to remember these things. 1925, Helen Keller set us ablaze or a pace to get to do something for the people who were blind. Lions Clubs International did more than that. As an organization, again, we already earned the respect of the world. And the United Nations found us a partner, found us as a partner, because we became very involved in we were the first non-governmental organization who was invited to draft the United Nations Charter in 1945. And some of you would know that annually, the United Nations have not forgotten us, and we are always there to work alongside the United Nations, that we do have a day in March, every year in March, where we have the halls of the United Nations for ourselves. And not many organizations in the world can boast of such a feat. The Leo movement came about in 1957 because we were growing, and of course we could not leave the young people behind. And you heard what the second VP said earlier. We, whether we like it or not, we say the Leos are the future. No, they are our present. They are here with us. We've got to develop them. We've got to train them. We've got to put them out there, that they will become the leaders of tomorrow in our organization. And this organization, of course, has provided an awful lot of membership. A lot of our members, even now, really came out of the Leo movement. So we need to develop the Leo movement steadfastly. Another one of the features in our history is the Lions Club's International Foundation, LCIF. That was founded in 1968. And it was established primarily to look after all the large and local scale, large-scale humanitarian projects that we were undertaking. Hurricanes, earthquakes, name it, tsunamis, we have our hand in it. And of course, to date, my record shows that 13,000 grants totaling $1 billion US have been applied into service projects with or without partners all around the world. Women in the organization. When the movement was formed, it was an all-male organization. They were not allowed to take in ladies. But of course, the ladies became the backbone of the organization by forming a support group, which did not really have any place in the movement from an administrative standpoint. They had no place. But the world was evolving, and women were taking their places in office, and they were putting up quite a fight throughout the world, that it became necessary for us to consider, because the Supreme Court took a decision that women cannot be barred from participating in service organizations. And since then, we went to Taipei. Previous to Taipei, a number of efforts had been made, but we failed. But we went to Taipei on the 5th of July, 1987, and we voted unanimously. And I'm saying we here, to say Lions, voted unanimously to have women in the movement. And they didn't come in the movement with any half measure. Full membership rights and privileges, so said the motion at the time. And so in 1987, Lions Clubs International became the first major service club organization to admit women in its membership. So that is something we can pat ourselves our back on. Lions Clubs International further went on because we spoke of Helen Keller earlier on and the warning she had given us. We had done a substantial amount of work, but we realized it was costing us an awful lot of money too. So in 1991, Campaign Site First was launched in Brisbane, Australia. And the target for Campaign Site First was for us to raise $130 million. That was the target. And we had to do that over a period of 3 years. We raised by June of 1994, $140 million. This is fantastic. And when I looked again, in 2005, Campaign Site First continued. Till then, we were still contributing. And we had amassed a sum of $182 million. But we did not keep that money. That money was supposed to be going out to do work in sites. And so it impacted, 4.6 million people were impacted. They had the sites restored. If this is not the greatest feat any organization could do on this world today, tell me what it is. And so, in my local parlance, we will say, Upegu, you take taste. You're so contented that you were successful in that, you'll do it again. And so in 2005, we launched Campaign Site 2. Unfortunately, I am without knowledge. I was a little bit lazy. I didn't do the research. So I can't tell you at this point how much money we have amassed with this project. But that tells you the interest we have in ensuring that we can satisfy one aspect of life and health, sight. And so, 1917, Melvin Jones founded the club. 1920, Lions became international with a club in Canada. In 1925, Helen Keller told us that we need to change and become Knights of the Blind in the crusade against darkness. In 1945, we helped draft the United Nations Charter. In 1957, the Leo Club program was created. 1968, the Lions Clubs International Foundation was established. In 1987, Lions became the first service club to organize and admit women as members. And of course, in the 1990s, we took on Site First. So our international network has grown and our club count is in excess, the number of countries in excess of 200 in the world. We've gone in the world, and so we cannot manage. We need to manage. We need to manage our organization more effectively. So the wisdom of our leaders in Lionism have said, look, we will divide the world into constitutional areas. And in effect, there are 7 constitutional areas in the movement at the stage. And so we will find out where we stand as an organization. We first used to be with Latin America, South America, Central America, and Mexico. This is where we used to be before. But in the last 3 or so years, a move was made because we went to the forum in Latin America and it was always conducted in Spanish. So sometimes those of us who went to those meetings, we were left not being able to understand what was going on. Our chances also of moving up in the movement seem to have been stifled when we were there. We have now moved to Constitutional Area 1. And Constitutional Area 1 comprises the United States of America and its affiliate, Bermuda, the Bahamas, and the islands of the Caribbean, to include Guyana and Suriname. So we belong to Constitutional Area 1. And I'm sure we are benefiting a lot more since we moved there, because the number of trading opportunities that have surfaced and the growth of our members in the movement is a sight to behold. But when did lionism come to the neck of the wood, here in our neck of the wood? 1957, our first club was in Suriname. Then it moved into Guyana in 1960 with the Lions Club of Georgetown. In 1961, we went to Barbados. 1962, Trinidad. 1964, St. Vincent. 1965, Jamaica, Grenada, St. Lucia, Dominica, and the tail went on and on and on and on. And so by the time 1974 came about, during this period of time prior to 1974, the clubs in those islands were placed under what was called a provisional district P. And of course, a proposal was then sent by the then late District Governor Bernard Cridland to change, because the number of clubs had grown so much from Suriname all the way to Jamaica, that we needed to change into a multiple district. And 1979, 1980, multiple district 60 was established with Dr. Joseph Robinson, Joe Rob, of Antigua as the first chairman of that organization. So that is where the organization has taken us. We've now become a multiple district. And what is our multiple district? What's the composition of our multiple district? We have 6 regions in multiple district 60. Many of us didn't know that there were 6 regions. Suriname, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados and the Windward Islands, the Windward Islands, Jamaica, and the Cayman Islands. And of course, we are divided into 2 districts, 60, multiple district 60. We become a sub-district. There is a difference between a district and a sub-district. A district is where you stand on your own. You do not have a partnership or in excess of I think it was about 50 or so clubs. You do not have in excess of that, so you cannot be a multiple district. And when you are in a multiple district, you become a sub-district. So sub-district 60A comprise of Suriname, Guyana, and Trinidad and Tobago. So all the clubs in these 3 countries are in 60A. And in 60B, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, the British Virgin Islands, Montserrat, Antigua, Dominica, US Virgin Islands, Anguilla, St. Eustatius, Saba, St. Martin, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, Barbados, and Grenada. These are the clubs in 60. And we are doing extremely well, because the last time I checked, our number of clubs in each of the districts bordered on, well, I saw a couple drops, 59 down, 58 down, but 60 was always a number that we flirted with throughout. Of course, the second VP again spoke with the core areas. Anybody know that sign? Childhood cancer. This one, diabetes. This one, the environment. hunger, and we leave the best for last, vision. These are the major areas that our association of Lions Clubs focus upon. I don't know I want to go into the rest of this slide by talking about who we are. There are men and women dedicated to serving. 1.4 million members. We are the world's largest, and I like to boast that. I don't care who you are. We are the world's largest service club organization. And I tell them to put it in their pipes and smoke it. So we must keep that feeling that we are good. And all the things that we do, we must throw it out there for the world to see. And we help our communities become better. But most importantly for me, is that code of ethics which was formed, which was put together by the association when it was formed. And I have a strong feeling that this is what made me a better person. And I want to urge those of you who are on the call tonight to pay great attention to it. Don't just go to club or meetings and just wrote it out. We're just reading it, blah, 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 blah. We do not internalize it enough. We do not learn it enough. I made it a point to learn it by heart, to show my faith in the worthiness of my vocation, by industrious application to the end that I may merit a reputation of quality of service, to seek success and to demand no fair remuneration or profit as my just due, but to accept no profit or success at the price of my own self-respect lost because of unfair advantage taken or because of questionable acts on my part. To remember that in building up my business is not necessary to tear down on others, to be loyal to my client or customers and true to myself. Whenever a doubt arises as to the rights or ethics of my position or action towards others, to resolve those doubts against myself. To hold friendship as an end and not as a mean. To hold that true friendship exists not on account of the service performed by one to another, but that true friendship demands nothing but accepts service in the spirit in which it is given, always to bear in mind my obligation as a citizen to my nation, my state, and my community, and to give them my unswerving loyalty in word, act, and deed, to give them freely of my time, labor, and means, to aid others by giving my sympathy to those in distress, my aid to the weak, and my substance to the needy, to be careful with my criticisms and liberal with my praise, to build up and not destroy. I thank you. No problem, hold on. I am not very tech savvy, so I'm having a little issue there. Something is blocking me, so I don't know what to do. Yeah, that's it. Sorry about this. I hand over to the moderator.
And thank you so much, Past Council Chair Lion Eldridge Stevens, for a wonderful discussion on the history of Lionism. And we will proceed on to our second presenter, Lion Jacinta Pringle, Club Service Chair from the Lions Club of Antigua. Lion Jacinta, take it away.
Good night, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Lion Dr. Carlyle is no stranger to lionism. He was a founding member of the Leo Club of Coleridge and Parry in 1983, which was chartered by the Lions Club of Barbados North. Lion-eared athlete, Leo advisor, and a teacher at Coleridge and Parry School, was the person who introduced Lion Dr. Carlyle to the world of Lionism. He ascended through the ranks of Leoism, serving in every capacity except that of secretary. He was the third president of the Leo Club of Coleridge and Parry. In 1987, he was awarded the Leo Award of Honor for his years of service and dedication to the movement. In 1989, he transferred his membership to the Leo Club of Bridgetown, where he was an active member until 1991, when he went to Jamaica to study. Whilst in Jamaica, studying medicine, he transferred his membership to the Leo Club of Kingston in 1991 and subsequently became a Lion on October the 3rd, 1996. Of interest, his sponsor was the late Lion Milton Pinnock, MJF, past district governor from the Lions Club of Mona, Jamaica. On return to Barbados, Lion Dr. Carlyle transferred his membership to the Lions Club of Bridgetown in 1997. In this club, he served in several capacities, including Leo advisor, director, chairman of health committee, and vice president, and as president in 2007 to 2008. During his year of presidency, 3 former Leos were inducted as members of the Bridgetown Lions Club. Lion Dr. Carlyle has held various cabinet and district positions over his collective years in Lionism, including Associate Chairman for Physical Disabilities, Associate Chairman for Diabetes, Associate Chairman for Health, Associate District Chairman for Community Partnership and Enabling, District Chairman for Sight and Health, Multiple District Chairman for Leos, Convention Chairman in Barbados 2011, Zone Chairman 2012 to 2013. He also served on the International Board for Diabetes for 3 years, 2015 to 2018. He was awarded an International President's Award in 2018, and that is the second highest award of a sitting international president. He was also region chairman, second vice district governor, first vice district governor, district governor just recently, and now he serves as our council chairman. Lion Dr. Carlyle is a graduate of Regional Lions Leader Institute, Advanced Lions Leadership Institute, and is a faculty member of the Development Institute, which provides Leos with foundational knowledge and skills to train at the club, district, and multiple district levels. He was awarded the Leadership Development Certificate of Merit in 2016. Lion Dr. Carlyle is married, and his partner in service is Maxine McLean Goddard. He's a consultant, internist, an endocrinologist. He has private practices, the Endocrine Center Incorporated, with branches in Lodge Hill, St. Michael's, and Hoppin Medical Clinic in Speightstown, St. Peter. Lions, please help me to welcome, I can't say to the podium, but welcome Lion Dr. Goddard, PMJF. Gentlemen, take it away.
You need to unmute Dr. Goddard. You're still muted.
You're still muted. Council Chair. Yes, we cannot hear you. Yeah. I believe the council chair is switching devices, Landon.
I believe so.
Yes, Lions. Dr. Carroll has asked to indicate that he's getting some challenges, so she's seeking some assistance from Lion Siobhan.
Thank you, past Council Chairman Sherwin.
Can I suggest that you move on until the council chair gets his
Yes,
area sorted? Yeah.
yes, past council chair, sure. We were actually having that discussion right now. Are you queued up and ready?
Well, I was ready.
You're always ready. Okay.
I think that just one more. I think the council chair should be back on right now. So
Hello?
Okay, yes,
yes,
you're sounding better. Save by the bell.
Ah, boy. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's get the show on the road. Okay. So thank you very much for inviting me to participate in this meeting. It's indeed a pleasure to sit here.
Yes, we're having the same trouble again. Council chair, yes, we cannot hear you.
right. So the device is muted at this time. Like,
Can we unmute? Yes, the device is showing us muted.
How is this?
much better. Very-
Okay, so let me take the volume. Are you can still hear me?
Yes, council chair.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, excellent. So once again, I do apologize for the technical aspect. Somehow my computer is saying on mute and you can't hear me when I turn on my phone. I'm getting feedback from the other one, but be that as it may. I thank you for having me for this important session. You all know that orientation is dear to me because I believe that membership is important to carry on this great legacy that we have in Lions Club International. So without any further ado, I will carry on. So my task is really simple, to speak to you about club membership, its benefits and its obligations. So as a brief overview, I want to discuss membership in general, the benefits, the expectation of a member, and the longevity of Lions Club International. For me, membership is an important thing to serve. And so anyone whom we look to serve in a Lions Club must be a person who, from the heart, wants to serve and from the heart wants to give of themselves. So I have preached over the years that being a lion, being a Leo is intuitive. It comes from within you. And if you lack that, then you will never truly be a lion. But before we talk about being a lion, we require, after the great statements who just spoke, the legacy of lions, we must first make lionism visible in our communities. And to do so, we must spread the effectivity of us being lions to the community that we serve. When we encompass and embody our community, only then can we feel the spirit of lionism. So to become a lion, you must make lionism visible. And what is making it visible? Our actions in the community. We must first look within the community and see what we lack within our membership and seek out those who we want to bring in. Most people speak of, I want a quality member, or I want such and such a profile as a member. And yet sometimes the simplest person in the community is your greatest asset. So do not be limited or be myopic in your vision where you're so short-sighted to say, I only want a lawyer, I only want an accountant, I only want a private civil servant to be a member. Because sometimes the person with the smallest appearance have the biggest heart. To be a lion, you have to give. You have to give of yourself, you have to give of your time, you have to give of your wallet in some cases, you have to pay dues and so on. But that is part of it. But we then embrace you into a fellowship, which when you become part of, you will never ever want to leave. So for those of you who are seeking membership, we have such a big community called Lions Club International. We are trendy. We have a Facebook page. We have a wonderful website. And so for anyone who is seeking membership within our club, I would invite you to just Google Lions Club International, look at our website and feel and embrace and get a chance to see what Lions actually do. And when I speak of Lions, I am collectively referring to Lions, Leos, and Leo Lions. I will break those three categories down for you a little later. But Lions is the umbrella which embodies Leos, Leo Lions, and Lions all as one. We boast to be the largest service community where we have 1.4 million members in over 4,900,000 clubs worldwide. And these are millions of people hands to the plow, serving every need that there is in a community across the world. So how do you become a member? First, you need to attend, in the broadest sense, you need to attend a meeting, express an interest, and be participating in a club. But you just don't walk through the door like that. When you see the visibility of our lines within our community, you recognize us first in our beautiful regalia. When you see that, you can simply walk up to any Lions member saying, hey, what are you guys about? What are you doing in our community? And when you do that, that shows, hey, somehow we have hooked you or captured your attention somehow in our small aspect within the community. And then you can engage you in a conversation to feel you out, to see where your sense is at, what you would like to contribute to. And in so doing, we will then invite you to come and see a meeting. And when you come and sit amongst in our den and see how we operate, then you get a feeling, do I want to be part of this or don't want to be a part of that? But for me, being a Lion for so many years, the true part of you wanting to be a member is putting your hands to the plow, which is come and join us in a project. And I would advocate that you take all potential Lions or Leos to at least 3 or 4 projects. See them immerse, see them interact with your fellow Lions and Leos, see how they participate with the community persons. Because sometimes we as Lions serve the person in direst need. It could be a person who uses a pit toilet. It could be a person who had a stroke and is unable to get out of the bed and maybe messy in terms of the urine or foul smelling at the time. But that is just the physical attributes. There might be an inner sweet person there waiting to be helped. So we as Lions and Leos look past that, move past that to go to the person in need, pick up that banter and say, we are here to serve and we are serving you today. So when you attend projects with us, you rub shoulders with us, you interact with us, you feel our camaraderie, our brotherhood, our sisterly love, and you become part of that infected milieu, then you should naturally want to become a part of us. We like you to express an interest because we don't force our movement upon you. When you see what we do and you're feeling that love bug to be part of it, then you can simply express to us you want to be a part of us. Now, there are many types of club styles that you can be. The traditional club is just an open club where any and everyone can come and join who is good service mind, good community upstanding, and so on. That's the traditional club. But we don't only seek those who just want to be part of a club. We've now branched out into specialty clubs. So what do we mean by specialty clubs? Suppose you're a group of farmers and you're interested in protecting the environment or ensuring that your agricultural produce is of such a standard that it is environmentally friendly, organic, and you want to promote that. You can form or become a part of a Lions Club which promotes agriculture. Sell your yams, sell your breadfruit, sell your sweet potatoes, because you know they're organic, there's no much pesticides and so on in doing it. And you as a group of farmers have come together and you're now propagating your skill and your art. But in so doing, you can teach others bookkeeping, presentation of product, legacy, establishing a market share. There's so many teaching modules that can come out of your specialty club that we can invite you to just sit, because some people might feel out of place with other professionals or out of sorts within different groupings. But because you are of like minds, you should easily sit together and want to be part of your similar group. But Lions Club International is extended, and post-COVID, we have seen the advent of virtual clubs, which means with IT growing and AI and so on, we have so many smart devices available to us that we can now say, rather than physically meeting in one place, we can use the cyberspace to come together and have a club. It could be in different countries, different space, but yet you contribute to an identified community and contribute of your time, your energy, and your purpose. We also have campus clubs. We know that transitioning age group where you've just left home, you've just left high school, you're still trying to find your way in life. And networking is very important, because in that said networking, you can now allow to grow your own peers or interact with other persons from other countries and build yourself. One uniqueness of multiple district 60, in that the early days we have the University of the West Indies, which originally was in Jamaica, then added Barbados and Trinidad. Because of these individual satellite campuses, we were able to move from one country to the next. Imagine a Barbadian going to Jamaica in 1956. You've never seen another Caribbean person for that matter. And now being immersed in, say, medical school, you have people from Jamaica, people from Barbados, people from Trinidad, people from Guyana, people from Antigua, all over the Caribbean territory. And here you're hearing different idiolects, people who should sound like you but don't sound like you, people with similar features but not exactly the same, people being one Caribbean people but cook differently, speak differently, and have similar words for same things but different meanings. All of that, you come together, you get that CARICOM experience. That is part of campus clubs, because you have so many different international or regional voices coming together. You can add a wonderful milieu, a good pepper pot in the boiling stages, because this is where new ideas, new people are formed. We cannot forget our youth movement. Our Leo Club is the primordial stage of any service club, because through our young people, we can see our future. The older persons being in the Lions are supposed to pass on the legacy, have the insights and the experience that they have gained over the years, and now infuse all of this into our Leos. Our Leos are young, upcoming individuals who are now translating some of our mistakes, some of our successes, and now forming a new bud that now express itself in time to come. That is our Leo Club. They're not just little children hanging on to be told what to do. No, they're young minds bubbling with energy, wanting to assist, thinking outside the box, bringing new ways of doing things to the mixture. And that is what allows for us to continue with our legacy and our longevity. We've now bridged a group called the Leo Lions. And this is young persons coming out the Leo Club who don't quite think they're ready to be full lions or still in that look and seek state where we want to do things, but we're not quite ready to be formal in how lions do it. Can we have our own niche and express ourselves and do things a bit differently to encourage this motto that we serve and continue serving in the way that we do? Through this Leo Lions movement, we can now become better persons. So after encountering, after assisting at a project, and you like what we do, you see what we enjoy, perhaps you want to become. And now you can move on to the application stage. So you can ask for your sponsor to give you an application form. And that application form, we get your basic demographics, who you are, who you're related to, what do you do in terms of option, what can you bring to us and no ideas. And then formally, we invite a senior lion or someone who you've met to a local Lions Club that will be your sponsor, your mentor for your progress, not only to get into the club, but for your life journey into your service. That is who your sponsor is. That person you can always return back to in your darker moments of lionism or your brighter moments of lionism, because you have the good and the good and the bad. Having done all of that, it then comes to the general process of approval by your general membership, because we're still your body and your voice, and we want to make sure that all members are comfortable with you. So after inviting you into our presence, we then have something called a pomp and circumstance, our induction ceremony. It's one of the most beautiful and fascinating times, because this is where we, the membership, invites you through our passion, and our pomp and our circumstance, just to show you what it means to us to live through Alliance. And we invite you to join us in this wonderful movement. So having become a lion or become a Leo, it is now your duty, yes, your duty, to be an active participant, not only in club meetings, but in service projects. And as part of this, you have agreed to pay your membership fees and assist and sponsor other Leo Alliance and what they want to do as you have learned to develop yourself over time. This is what we ask you to become, an active participant, not just some person who writes a check. You must be active. Now here we want to look at membership types. And in membership types, you can have regular membership where you attend all your common meetings and service in all your variable club meetings and projects. You can have a family type of membership where we have a household of persons who said, but hey, all of us want to serve. We are the parents and we have our children we can bring along. So we can pay a family due, a family fee to become part of it. As a student, we recognize that you might not have the freedom of money to pay full dues. Lions Club International allows for this. And you have a student fee, a student rate, so to speak, and we prorate it. You become a young Leo, and that could be an Alpha or Omega, which is a very young people, or the older extent. We'll come back to that. All of these are various types of memberships. And of course, I mentioned the Leo Lion, the person who was a former Leo and now in their transition process. So you have regular membership, family membership, student membership, Leo membership, and a Leo Lion membership. Now, many people confuse type of membership with category of memberships. And so category of membership refers to those who are already Lions, yes? And so we can go like active member, affiliate member, associate member, honorary member, life member, all of those, yes? And here in this cartoon I put up for you, you can see what the category of membership allows you to do. So it allows you to be a voting member or a delegate for your club, be it a convention or district function. That's what the category of membership allows you. It's your voting rights and your level of active participation within a club versus the type of membership, which is a Leo Lion, a Leo, a family. So I hope you understand the difference. You can always ask me the question and answer segment, and I can highlight this cartoon for you a little later. Now, what are the benefits of being a Lion or being a Leo? I joined the Leo movement way back in the 1980s. and I converted to a full-fledged lion in 1996, 97. And I have never looked back. I have risen from being a Leo all the way to being your district governor and to your council chairman. So for me personally, the benefits are overwhelming. I have lived the life where I worked from plowing the early days of digging pit latrines, forking up garden beds, taking water to people who didn't have water, to the height where I travel around the Caribbean as a district governor, and I am embraced by each and every one of you. That for me was indeed a privilege. But that's the personal side of it. When we look at lionism in its widest context, it comes down to networking and acquiring green skills for our future. Lionism is teaching you and I about how do we fit into society. Lionism teaches you public speaking. It teaches deportment. It teaches you presentation. You learn accounting skills. You learn accountability. These are all life skills that not only treat you for your household, but also for your life in general. And so you may come in green, and that's why we call them green skills. You might say, I'm a shy individual. I don't learn to like to speak. But I haven't come so comfortable to sit among your fellow lions and Leos. You then get to put on the hot seat, or you become the president secretary, and you're forced to do things outside your comfort zone. But because it's a grooming, a mentee process, we teach you these green skills over time. And it's done in such a friendly manner that you don't even think you're in school when you learn these features. When you look back but say, but that's the structure of how a Lions Club meeting go. Or if you're asked to put together an agenda for someone coming to your workplace to do something, because you've seen how it's done in the Lions Club, you automatically would start to jot down the natural points that should happen. You didn't go to school to learn how to make an agenda, but yet here you are. We see about grant proposal and grant proposal writing. You might get called to sit on the finance committee or special project committee. You have to plan and execute various projects. In so doing, you're learning more green skills, or you're teaching someone else who sits with you because of your professional background how to do stuff. That is the networking that we speak of. Those are the benefits to be given. But to speak beyond that, Lions Club International is not about Barbados or Grenada or Tortola or Jamaica. We have a wider community. We have Sub-District 60A, Trinidad, Guyana, Suriname. We have 60B, which runs from all the way up from the Cayman Islands all the way down through the Eastern Caribbean, all the way stopping at the most southern part called Barbados. There are 19 countries in between there. That's who we are. That's who we represent. And then beyond that, we have an international side. You heard our second vice international president speaking to us earlier. That's the magnitude of where we go, because we don't sit only in the Caribbean. Once you become a lion, a Leo, you become part of a federation, a body that grows and encompasses so many other aspects of being a lion. The benefits are just numerous. But I hope you can feel my energy and feel the effectivity that I have from being a lion. I started out as a very young child, not knowing much about serving, but just wanting to help people. And this is what I have become over the years. So I hope I'm a testament to you as to what you can achieve from being true a lion. But sometimes I speak too much, and so you need cartoon points. So here in the cartoon, I speak of benefits of lions. Lions involve fostering a sense of community, a purpose, engagement among members, creating opportunities to bond together, team building, social events. Lions are social creatures in the jungle, and so are we as a people. We have a need to be social because we give and we give and we give so much. Sometimes we just need that parking, that peaceful moment where we can sit, chat, share bread, drink, imbibing substances to just make us relax and be one, become one. Not as far as Bob Marley would say, three little birds outside my doorstep, but so to speak, we can sit and have fellowship at any point just because we are lions in one setting. I have seen many lions and Leos build strong friendships and unions over the years. And so, again, the family aspect of lions is propagated. You can come in as single lions and leave as a family. Lions involve members making decisions together. You heard our statesman lion Eldridge speak earlier about no I, but rather the team. We make the decisions together. You may come up with an idea, but the collective body embellishes that idea to become the project. All members' feelings and opinions should be aired, shared, distilled, and then incorporated in the final decision. We seek to provide a variety of projects cater to different interests and skills, not just what the president wants, but what the body wants. Because you, the young members, are bringing new ideas how to do things as we mitigate the different eras of lionism. 1917 to 2024 is a big time, a big change, a big space. Lionism in the 80s is no longer lionism of 2020 or 2024. So we require new skills and new ideas to keep us propagating and going along. Lines extend across boundaries and we advocate for things. Look at our peace poster contest. Look at lines at UN or United Nations Day. That shows the power where we have transcended to, because on the international front, we're promoting peace across all borders and we're actively representing one another in doing these things. We celebrate our achievements. We celebrate anniversaries together. We celebrate milestones together. We celebrate giving and gifting and sight. And hence we come to the Melvin Jones Fellowship. Because at the end of the day, you are giving from yourself and as a service organization. Recognition of what you have done, your contribution is essential. And so we also pause to highlight and say, thank you. Thank you for your time, for your patience in serving, and for your service. This is critical to us. I have sold you a nice story, but no marriage is ever happy. No marriage is ever contented unless there is a dispute, because dispute is that vital variable that brings new insight into what we do. We will not always agree on ideas. You may not always be able to pay your dues on time. You may not always share the same passion or ideology about a given project. But if we come together as lions, put our heads, our shoulders to the brow, look at any difficult situation, say, we as a lions can do this, then we can, and we shall, and we will, because wherever there is a need, there is a lion. Sometimes over the years, we pick up a lot of dead wood and drag that slows down our momentum to serve. We may have members not paying dues, or we may have members who just cantankerous and antagonistic against what we want to do. And sometimes we need to pause and say, hey, perhaps your idea and your direction is not what we as a Lions Club want to do. And sometimes you have to make that hard choice and make that decision and do that because it is needed for the survival of the movement. So whereas I preach joy and happiness, no, it has to be balanced with a little bit of bittersweet love or a little bit of sweet element. We will have disagreements like any family, but at the end of the day, the chair should always be recognized as the final decision. And once the chair and general body comes up with the ideology that we're going to go down, we as Alliance will support that. So nowhere there's joy, there will be a little bit of grief and sadness. But at the end of the day, the love of us as the people to serve and wanting to serve will always come out. So I hope I have allowed you to come into my sphere, my space of enjoyment for Lionism and my passion for being a Leo, to help you to see why you should become a member of the greatest organization in the world and why you should be willing to donate of your time and your service. Service matters. And I hope you can join us in our Lionistic movement as we go forward. I thank you. Madam Chair, I give the meeting to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Past Council Chair Lion Dr. Carlisle Goddard, and your presentation is very uplifting, giving us the benefits and obligations of membership. And now we will have our third presenter, and that will be Lion Amaral Newton, Progressive Melvin Jones, Lions Club of Tortola. Take it away, Lion Amaral.
If you can unmute, please, Lion Amaral.
Thank you, Lion Diane. I was having a little bit of technical difficulty. It seems it's running through the islands. Everyone's having a taste. So I'll proceed to introduce Lion Sherwin D. Greenwich, PMJF, past council chair. Past council chairperson Sherwin Greenwich has been a member of the Lions Club of Barbados East since March 1991 and has served in many positions within the association, inclusive of all positions at the club level except that of tamer. At district, he has served as zone chairperson, region chairperson, cabinet secretary, treasurer, nominations chairperson, budget and finance chairperson, GLT associate, convention secretary, vice district governor, and advisor to district governors. At the multiple district, he has served as membership chairperson, LCIF chairperson, site and diabetes chairperson, budget and finance chairperson, research and archive chairperson, protocol chairperson, council secretary treasurer, council chairperson, and is currently the GLT coordinator. In recognition of his service to the association, he has received numerous awards, including Lion of the Year, President of the Year, Zone Chairman of the Year, International President's Associate Certificates, District Governor's Extension Award, and the prestigious International President Award, the second highest award of Lions Clubs International. Lion Sherwin is a Leadership Institute graduate, a Faculty Development Institute graduate, a certified guiding lion, and a Lions certified instructor. Lion Sherwin is a progressive Melvin Jones Fellow. Past council chair Sherwin is driven by the mantra, people won't remember what you said or did. They will remember how you made them feel. Lions and Prospective, please join me in welcoming Lion Sherwin D. Greenwich, PMJF, to present on the financial obligations of membership. Over to you, Lion Sherwin.
Thank you, Elaine Amaral. Council Chairperson, Elaine Dr. Caroline Goddard. GLT Chairperson, Elaine Diana Lee. GMT Chairperson, Elaine Daffodil Sampson, other distinguished Lions, Leos, Leo Lions. Good evening. Let me ensure that you're seeing my screen. Yes. Prospective Lions. You would have heard previously the history of our great organization. You would have also heard about the heart of a lion and the passion shared by a council chair, especially as you share the benefits of being a lion. You would have also heard about the categories and types of lions. Joining the world's largest organization is an awesome experience. But concomitant with that is your acceptance of the financial obligations. And that is what I'll share with you in the next 15 minutes that have been allocated to me. So I'll speak to you on the club budgets, the club dues, and additional contribution, your additional contributions. As we all know, money is very important to us. And if you're going to part with our funds, we need to be comfortable that the funds that we are parting with, that they are going to good use. And so especially I'll be sharing information on the club budgets, and especially your obligation, what you are expected to share with the organization, and especially your club in dues, and then any additional contributions that you will have to make. This is to ensure that once you've joined the organization, you will not have that financial shock. You will be very comfortable, especially going through your orientation, that you've joined not only the right organization, but you're in a position to share your fair share of your treasure, that being your funds, to the organization, as we seek to make a difference in the lives of those we serve. So the club budget. Each club maintains two separate budgets, an activity and an administrative budget. The activity funds of the Lions Club is consistent of funds raised from the public through club projects and may only be extended to satisfy the community and the public needs. So that is also very important as a prospective line, to know that funds raised from the community and the public must be used only towards projects that are going to impact your community and your public. And that is why we also have an administrative budget, and which finance the club's operations. So the monies in the administrative budget is used to finance your club's operations. And that income comes mostly from club dues. So the members of the club, the funds that their share as club dues are used to finance the club's operations, not the funds that you go out and seek from the public. So that's very important for you to understand, especially as you join our organization. So members pay club dues. The amount will vary from club to club and from region to region, from district to district. But those club dues are inclusive of district, multiple district, and international dues. Lions Club use the entrance fees and membership dues for administrative purposes. As I said earlier, only the funds collected from members are used for administrative, and these will be your membership dues and your entrance fees. So as you join our organization, you'll be asked to pay an annual membership dues, but you'll also be asked to pay an entrance fee. I mentioned earlier that the membership dues are inclusive of district, multiple district, and international dues. So international dues currently stand at 48 US per member. But as a new member, when you join, you'll be asked to pay an additional 35 US dollars, which these membership dues cover the benefits of a subscription to the Alliance magazine, in-person leadership development training like the one you're exposed to now, legal counsel, and insurance coverage. These are the services that are offered by International to all Lions, and your $48 per member that you pay annually contribute to providing these services. You also have access to My Line, the Lions portal, and any mobile or web-based apps. And these are designed to help you in your journey and your experience as a Lion. Now, the multiple district dues, you would have heard earlier of the history that we are part of a multiple district. And currently, the multiple district dues, as from July 1st of this year, was US $550, and is expected to go on July 1st, 2025 to $7 US. And then in July 1st, 2026, it goes to $8 US. And this was done last year when the Multiple District Council got the approval from its members to increase the dues after a very long time. These dues at the multiple district level go to assist with the administrative management of the multiple district. At the district level, your contribution to the district personally, when you join our organization, is going to be $20 US, and this too goes towards assisting the administrative management of District 60B, which is your district. We in District 60B especially sit in what we call the hurricane belt. And from time to time, you would be aware, you've been paying attention not only to what's happening in the Lions clubs, but what's happening in your individual countries, that unfortunately from time to time we are struck by hurricanes or other disaster. Lions Club, in its wisdom, have established a district disaster fund to which clubs contribute $100 annually to assist with disaster recovery in District 60B. So, as I said earlier, each club would have a club due, which may vary dependent on your locale. I'm going to use an example of a club dues club in Barbados, which dues stand at $250 Barbados dollars, which is the equivalent to $125 per member. And I'm just going to share with you how that $125 which you pay annually can be broken down. So out of that $125, $48 goes towards your international dues, $550 towards your multiple district, $20 towards your district dues, and then $3 towards your district disaster funds, which leaves that club who's asking its members to pay $125 with $48.50 to help with the administration of that club. Some may think that that might not be enough, but that is a decision for the club members to make to determine whether or not they believe $125 would be adequate to run the organization. So I'll now move on to what we call as additional contributions. So as a member of a Lions Club, most clubs would have a raffle which would contribute to the administrative fund. So you may be asked to contribute $1 per meeting towards a raffle. There are various ways in which raffles are administered in club. Particularly in my club, members are asked to contribute an item towards the raffle. Other clubs, the club might purchase items towards the raffle. There's also tail twisting, which is the exciting part and which is supposed to bring life to the meeting. And members are also asked to contribute $2 per meeting. It may vary in some clubs, as I'm using the example of a club in Barbados. And so some clubs may also ask you only to pay a maximum of 2 fines. Some clubs may ask for more. But if you are paying a maximum of 2 fines at a meeting, that redounds to a contribution of $48 for the year. If you have not been told already, I'm going to share it with you now. Each Lions Club is expected to celebrate their charter anniversary and to do it in a big way that is memorable. So some clubs may have dinners, some may have breakfasts, some may have lunches. On average, in the Caribbean, on average, I believe $100 to $150 can be considered a reasonable amount for your charter anniversary function. And all members, and I dare say all members, are encouraged and should attend their charter anniversary function of their club. That is an opportunity for persons to come and celebrate the existence of their club and also get an opportunity to not only share with the current members, but to bring their families and their friends so that they too can experience what lionism is about. So I encourage you, and especially those who have been in Lions for a long time and have not attended a charter anniversary, this is a good time to start attending your charter anniversary and encourage those prospective Lions to create that awareness that they should attend their charter anniversary function as well. Also, as a Lion, you may be asked from time to time to contribute to various projects. So I ask that you take that into consideration as you join the organization, that you may be asked to contribute to hampers at Christmas, to a project for our children, and especially know that the funds raised can be sometimes not meet the requirements because of some of the financial challenges that some businesses are going through, especially after COVID. So, but there's always a need.
Remember, she just listening to conversation and she trying to.
There's always a need for our service. So where we cannot get contributions from the corporate, as a line, I ask that you remember your commitment and you should contribute to any service projects that you are asked to. I hope that I have been able to share with you the financial obligation that's expected of you as a member, but I also hope that I have not scared you. And you would recognize that within our district, we have many Lions who have committed their service to assist the less fortunate by sharing part of their treasure with them. So I look forward that you have indicated an interest with join our organization, and especially have a better understanding of how your funds will be used. I'm not open to any questions. Any questions, Lance?
Remember the change of administration, Chairman?
Pardon me?
Change of administration costs, as well as anniversary costs.
Yes. Especially I know in probably Jamaica and some of the other islands, there is also a change of administration costs. And for change of administration, I know in Jamaica is known as change of administration. In some islands, especially in Barbados, you may hear as installation of officers. So at the end of the dynasty year, which is the end of June, clubs will celebrate that transition from one executive to another by having a function befitting of celebrating the past year of the executive and issuing the new executive. And that also incurs a cost. So new members also be aware that you will be asked to contribute to that installation function as well. Thank you, Past Council Chair Isaac. And if I miss any that may be additional costs that may be in different clubs or regions or zones, please share it. See, Lane, Council Chair, your hands are raised.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Right. What happens in the event that a member starts not paying the dues or pay half the yearly dues and then neglect the remaining half? What are some of the procedures would you recommend at this stage?
A very good question. Sometimes with our well intention, we set about to join the organization, and at the time we join the organization, the resources are available to join the organization. But we know that something like sickness sometimes can erode your finances, and you may not be able to keep up to your commitment to your dues. And we ask that members do not shy away or don't think that is embarrassing. If you know that you are experiencing some challenges, speak to your treasurer, club treasurer, or your president and explain the situation to them so that arrangements can be made for you to meet your obligation, but probably over an extended period. Yes. So you may not be able to pay your dues. Some challenges have arisen during the year, but you're still expected to pay your dues. Have a conversation. Don't just neglect to pay your dues or keep away from the club with the expectation that persons might forget that you haven't paid the dues. Have a conversation with your membership chair, with your treasurer and your president, explain the situation and the options available to you. Depending on the situation, the club might decide to ask the board of directors to waive the remainder of the fees for the year because they believe that the financial constraints that you're under might be one that they might be able to assist, or you may go into a payment plan, which allows you to pay your dues over a prolonged period. Thank you for that question, Caroline. Past Council Chair Elaine Marvin.
Yes, good evening, past council chair, other distinguished lions on this platform. I just wanted to add what is a practice of the Lions Club of Tortola, where we take a small fee of $5 per meeting, and that goes towards eats, because you know most persons are coming directly from work, going to meetings, our general meetings, that is, and our board thought it best. We brought it to the club that we should have eats at our meetings, and as such, members were asked to contribute $5 per meeting. We have one general meeting per month, so that works out to $60 per year, US, of course. With regards to, I endorse the point that you made with regards to members who may find themselves in financial difficulties for numerous reasons, and including sickness, as you would mention, that can wipe. Well, I think that makes persons even more sick when the cost of trying to get well. But in clubs, and I know for a fact it has happened in our clubs where members members would chip in and assist others with paying their dues and things of that nature. So that too can be encouraged. So I just thought I'd share those with the participants here this evening. And I thank you again.
Thank you, Past Council Chair, and thank you for sharing that as well, because some clubs I know make that contribution, but then over time, some boards of directors have decided to incorporate that into your dues, so that is added to as well. So that's also a financial obligation that various clubs may have, and depending on the times of their meetings, where persons could feel comfortable that having left work and they're going to meeting at 6 o'clock, they know at least they can get a hot beverage and probably some sandwich to keep them through the next 2 hours of the meeting until they reach home. So those are different additional services that clubs do for their own, which may also incur costs.
I must also share to past Council Chair Sherwin some other practices that we do at Lions Club of Tortola. We have what is called a convention fund, where members are again are asked to make a contribution. And that fund is used to assist our presidents and secretaries to travel to zone meetings and other meetings, because you know they have to represent, and we don't want our members to always having to go deep down in their pockets representing the entire club. So we thought it best that we would do that. And we also have what is called a benevolent fund. That is where Lions put some monies towards assisting Lions in times of need, because as you would have mentioned, or it was mentioned several times this evening, that monies raised from the public is not used to take care of Lions. So as you know, we are a family, and charity should begin at home. So we decided we were going to put that fund in place, and we use that in the event a member gets ill or something of that sort. We would use monies from there to make contributions towards alleviating whatever issue it is that member may be experiencing. So again, I just thought I would share with all on this platform. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Past Council Chair. And it is gatherings like these that we get to look at best practices across the region. And here's an example of a best practice that can work. Often, as I'm being aligned for over 30 years, we join the organization to help others. And the question is always asked, what about our own? Who looks after our own? And here's an example that clubs can, even if you haven't done it already, they can consider starting such a fund, because as I said earlier, from time to time, illness occurs, some persons may lose their jobs, and then it becomes a financial burden. And some of these members could have been members that have been contributing tremendously to the organization before, and now they find themselves in a situation where they can't contribute. And this is an opportunity for the clubs to put things in place that they can assist these members. So those of you who are doing it, excellent. Those who haven't, is an opportunity for something to consider where you can set aside some fund where you can help your own. Are there any best practices that can be shared across the district?
Line Sherwin, just on a jovial note, we can probably do like is done in some of those Asian clubs where I was advised that the dues are roughly $5,000 per year, but it encompasses a whole lot of things, including your assistance with the entire club traveling and things of that nature. And not that I'm advocating, notice I said I'm just but just so that members understand, it is what works for you in your communities that you should employ. It doesn't mean that you have to do what has been with the additional things. Of course, your dues, so district, international, those are a must. Anti-club, those are a must. The others, if are additional things that you can do, and it should be done where it's comfortable for members to do so. All right.
Yes,
Again,
you reminded me of something, and we should share. There's one club in District 60B, the Lions Club of Grand Cayman, which is about 100% Melvin Jones club. So to join the Lions Club of Grand Cayman, a club which has over 100 members, incidentally, your part of your membership dues includes your contribution of $1,000, which makes you an automatic Melvin Jones Fellow on joining the club. So that is also something to consider. Lions Club, especially those who are joining for the Lions Club of Grand Cayman.
Thank you, Line Past Council Chair. But before I go, I just want to commend all the presenters. I think those presentations were wonderful. The organizers, again, for putting on a wonderful session. And then I will now reside on mute, Mike.
Yes. Thank you, Past Council Chair, for your contributions. Any other contributions? Any other questions for any of the prospective lanes that are on the platform?
Can I add something, Lance Sherman?
Of course.
I don't think I heard, but you may have overlooked. You know that disaster preparedness and attention to post-disaster activities has always been a problem for us in the Caribbean. And this year, it has been very bad. Actually, last year was bad, and this year was just as bad, if not more, where several territories were hit in very close time span. Sometimes by the same hurricane, sometimes in a couple of weeks. And it has become a major responsibility and activity for the Lions clubs throughout, mainly 60B, because most of those hurricanes don't go down to 60A. Occasionally, Trinidad may have an encounter. But in 60B, it's been an area that requires a lot of attention. Now, as a result of which, we do have district disaster fund, which has to be contributed to per member. And in my neck of the woods, we also have a regional disaster fund, which encompasses two regions, 1 and 4. And those are also costs, in addition to which we do have some other contributions that the regions and sometimes the zones contribute to bursaries and so on. But the cost of recovering from these disasters. And you know we're on a earthquake belt. There's a fault that runs through the Caribbean as well. In my club, and I think most of the clubs in geographical Jamaica, in the Cayman Islands as well, including our monthly fees, that portion of our contribution to those funds. I know that I don't think we had mentioned it earlier in your delivery, but it is something that we are going to have to keep in mind, that it's a very important, in fact, it's a vital contribution that we have to make. And it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse.
Yes.
With climate change and the increases that we're having. So I just want to make this point that we have to be prepared, because the effort in terms of recovery is also a very expensive activity. We get some help, but it's nowhere near what we should be able to get. And the disaster is just, this last year here has been unbelievable. So we have to be at that cost in mind too. We can raise funds from various clubs, and sometimes clubs in other territories contribute to those that have not been too badly affected. But the two funds I mentioned here are ongoing funds, and thankfully we have them, because what we can get from ACIF is really just not enough. As you very well know, I think every district governor in 60B has had to do with one or two disasters in his year. So it's a real cost that we have to bear in mind, and usually the club dues includes for that expense as well. Just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I did mention the district disaster fund, where clubs contribute 100 US per year. But I'm thank you for reminding me that, especially in Jamaican regions 1 and 4, you also have a region disaster fund. So the clubs in region 1 and region 4, which is primarily Jamaica and Cayman, would contribute not only to the district disaster fund, but they also contribute to a regional disaster fund, where those funds help the clubs in those two regions. So thank you for reemphasizing that as well. If there are no other questions, over to you, Lane Daffodil or Lane Diane.
Thank you, Lion, as Council Chair Lion Sherwin, for an excellent presentation on the financial obligations of membership. And now we'll have our fourth and final presenter, and that will be done by Lion Ione Knight, Lion Secretary of the St. Kitts Basse-Terre Lions Club. Take it away.
Thank you. Lion Lynette Beard Feetcall, MJF, who started her career at the Bank of Guyana in 2014 after working as a journalist in radio broadcasting. Lion Lynette holds a mass communication diploma in journalism from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and a bachelor's degree in mass communication and social work from the University of Guyana. She also has a postgraduate degree in human resource management from the Indira Gandhi National Open University and a master's degree in business administration from the University of Nicosia. She is presently pursuing a master's degree in counseling psychology at the University of the Southern Caribbean. She is a serving counselor advocate and a second vice president of the Guyana Association of Professional Social Workers. Lion Leonard Beard Cup MJF is a member of Toastmasters International. Her home clubs are the Bank of Guyana Royal Toastmasters Club, and the legendary Toastmasters Club, of which she is a charter member. She is the reigning champion for the Toastmasters District 81 Humorous Speech Contest and first runner-up for the Impromptu Speech Contest. She is also the secretary for the Bank of Guyana Sports and Culture Club. Lion Lynette Beard Feetcuff, MJF, has embraced the principles as we serve with others. We are working on ourselves. Every act of, every word, every gesture of genuine compassion naturally nourishes our heart. She is a member of the Lions Club of Guyana, where she served with distinction for more than 25 years. Let's give a roaring welcome to Lion Lynette Beard Feetcuff, MJF, as she presents on Service Impact.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, for having me here. Good night, everyone. From the land of many waters, Guyana, I am pleased to be a part of your orientation session. Council Chairperson Lion Goddard, past Council Chair Lion Greenidge, fellow presenters, Lions, Leos, prospective Lions, and guests. My presentation is a short one, and I received a lot of help from my previous presenters who touched on some areas I have here. So I hope to wrap it up in my allotted 15 or less. First, what I'm looking at is the impact of Lion service in sub-district 60B and beyond. Can the Zoom master kindly share the presentation? Thank you. So we would ask, what is multiple district 60? And what is the sub-district of 60B? And you have heard it already. The sub-district 60B consists of all the islands in the Caribbean. Where I'm from, we are 68, and we heard Guyana, Suriname, and Trinidad. The pillars focus in the sub-district 60B. From my research, I came up with hunger, diabetes, cancer, cancer awareness, vision, and environment. Not saying that others are not done, but I've noticed these are the most reported projects. Core value of the Lions Club in sub-district 60B, or Lions Club in general. Service, where we looked at the commitment to improving our local community, the projects we would plan and execute so that we can help others in our community. We look at fellowship, and these were discussed by my previous presenters. I'm just right through. Fellowship, we build relationship among members. We have friends from across the miles or the clubs or the zone. And like here in Guyana, where I am with you, we build friendship from doing our projects that we, as Lions, from our various clubs, execute. Leadership building, we develop leadership skills through our service. We heard that also. We learn soft skills, green skills, presentation. You come in as a volunteer and you end up as someone who would have learned secretarial work because you have served as secretary. Also, the treasurer, for example, me, I knew nothing about accounting. That's not my field at all. My field is writing, and I was treasurer, I learned. So you learn a lot. So you have the leadership development skills. from working together and serving together. And of course, recognition, we cannot overemphasize recognition. That's where we look at the commitment of excellence, persons who would have served well, and we honor them. Key areas of service in Subdistrict 60B, and by extension, the walls of the district. We have vision screening, and all again from my research, I would have noted that eyeglasses and collection and distribution are projects that are being done. I noted that in Barbados and Jamaica, and there are other vision activities. I noted a project reported with white canes, and there is a vision awareness walk. Then there is hunger, you have food bank support, and I noted again, World Food Day, I noted food being shared among young people. And other projects I would have noted again too, they would have shared to senior citizens and other members of the community. Food hampers and hot meals. And cancer, it's the big one in all the territories. There is support for cancer in all the areas, in all the countries, sorry. They have various activities, awareness walk, and insights to breast cancer awareness. Those are two I picked up from my research again. And there are other programs I noted, educational programs, and all the other, the screening and those sort of things where projects are concerned. And it is heavily reported by most of the clubs in 60B. Environment also is a big one. I've noted tree planting projects, cleanup, and I've noted also partnering with other organizations. And we know Lions Clubs International asks us to partner with other organizations. And my research again showed me cleanup with Rotary, a beach cleanup, if I believe I have it correct, a beach cleanup with the Rotary clubs over there. And those are projects that all clubs are required to do based on our key population, key areas that's set out by international. Diabetes is no strange one, and we know next month everyone will be focusing on some aspect of diabetes. And I've seen that there is also a promotion for a Glow Stripes Walk, which will be happening in Sub-District 60B. There are other activities, diabetes testing and all the other activities we know. Those are projects that all Lions Club would be required to do. And as Prospect, you have a part of your club and what your club is planning. We cannot forget our youth, our Leos, and our Lions who are young at heart. There are activities and accommodation to strengthen that sector of that section of Lions. We have Youth Campaign Exchange, Youth Leadership, and Peace Poster. I also saw public school speaking that was done in Ido, where the young people were targeted and they were promoted. And also we have the Peace Poster, and we know that happens in the school system and young people where we promote peace across the world. Disaster response, I heard that just now. Here we have hurricane relief, and with hurricane relief, we really have that in 60A, just minor tail ends. We would have 1 and 2 zinc sheet blower, but in the Caribbean 60B, we know that it is something always happens whenever there is a disaster. So you have the Lions are the first line of defense when these things happen. Lions and the Red Cross and those organizations are called upon to support. and Lions lead from the front, whether it's hurricane, earthquake, tsunami, or flood or what. The Lions lead from the front. And the projects that happen most, what we are encouraging now is for clubs to work with community to aid in community construction or rebuilding of a community, because the magnitude of the destruction do not only require us giving some clean water, clothing, or food stuff. It also requires us to like reconstruct or rebuild, assist with rebuilding. So these are areas that clubs are working on to not alleviate, but at least help to cushion the relief for persons who are affected by disasters. Then we have the humanitarian efforts. And the humanitarian efforts, there are several areas where help can be garnered. We heard in the presentation earlier, again, I got help here from LCIF, which was formed in 1968. Funds are there to assist in these areas. And some of the projects that clubs can do and are doing and reporting are projects that impart on lives of the disabled, less fortunate. It helped to strengthen and improve access to medical care and those little areas. And also, it's a way, when we do these things, it's a way for us as Lions and the 60B and 60A, all of us together, to look back at what we're doing, to see if what we're doing is what is needed in the community. So we will take some time out there and have a needs assessment, needs and also risk assessment done to see what is happening, if this is what is needed, and if it is there any way to tweak it or what is needed there for the community, because we might be raising funds, pulling off a project that we do year around, and the community has changed and it may not be that big need anymore. So with the needs assessment, the areas, the information we receive will help us to better have our humanitarian projects and service executed well. We can look at some key projects and achievements. I cannot really pinpoint the key, because if I try to do that, I would be focusing on some countries, some islands, and not the others. So I will just look at the key areas that I've noted, which is ice screening, hunger, environment, back to school projects, and noted that with the LEOs. Those are what I see reported a lot, and also breast cancer awareness. The cancer awareness, I noted those. So I can, to myself, I can say those are the significant projects that are happening or being done in the 60B. We also noted the volunteer involvement, where every member or most of the members in the club, it is no secret. We may have 100 members in our club, and we only have 50 persons who are actually coming out to serve. So we would look at that, and again, my research showed me 1,913 persons, so all Lions, 59 clubs, and I hope that's correct, but if it's not, maybe I'm close. But from the members we have, we know we can have impactful projects, because when all of us put our hearts and hands and brains and everything together, we will certainly have impactful projects and do more than we would have set out to do. Surveys and testimonials, when we do things, at least from a 60A point of view, especially in my club, which is the Lions Club of Georgetown, we would have conversation from the persons in the community we serve to see what we can do better. We go to do one project, we ask, what do you want? What else do you want? What can we do? And they will tell us good things, and some of them would even show us a child that we worked with at the education level with the school, the back school, this school helped me. Bursary award. We gave bursary. And the child would have grown and turned a big man or a big young lady. And we cannot remember the faces when they finished and started to work, because after school, we do not see them back. We are shown photographs and sometimes point out this was a student that the club helped many years ago. So we will have testimonials from members of the community reflecting on what we would have done, and it would help us to see if we want to continue in that area or tweak and come in a different way. Broader impact on the multiple district 60 joint initiatives across the districts, and we know this is always happening. Every time there is a convention, there are projects that happens, and we have both sub-districts together executing the project. I remember, I believe it was in Jamaica, there was a book donation pool, and I know of 2 tested machines donated to Trinidad and Tobago, and there are environmental projects done in other countries where we would have gone to our convention. Resource sharing and best practices. By working together, we can be able to share not only financial resource, but we can also share, I call it our educational resource, because we would have ideas and knowledge of how we do and what we would have achieved, and then we would know what were some challenges we have. So we can share those, because if a project is being planned on a broader level, we have those information as resource to help persons who are planning or getting into it. We also have the best practices, what works well, we highlight and we share, so we know well we will not mainly deviate from it, but see what else we can do to it. And campaigns or events that happen in our multiple districts, we would normally have, you can have that, and whatever is the campaign or the event, we boldly do it together and successfully also. Highlights of successful initiatives that involve the multiple districts. We have clubs that work together that bring assistance and aids to the countries who are affected by hurricane. So those are successful initiatives, because we know in Guyana and the CA, all clubs are asked to donate $100 US towards this fund, and it is being sent to the multiple districts, to aid in whatever ways it can, with not only hurricanes, but any disaster for our Caribbean brothers and sisters. Challenges faced, of course, we know there are challenges, and there are challenges with funding and resources. We may want to do a project, or the community may ask for a project, and we do not have the financial assistance. So we know of the economic constraints and the fundraising effort. A lot of clubs are doing fundraising, and you find most clubs, or more than 2 clubs, might be doing the same kind of fundraiser. And most times you're targeting the same set of persons to have our tickets purchased, or the same business place, or what to give us support. So you find with that, you will have a little challenge there with who know who first, or who went first, or the relationship between the club and the donor So those are some challenges clubs would face when they want to at least plan the project and have it executed. So what we can do is to look at the type of persons we are bringing into the club, those that we attracted. So if we know we are doing this kind of project and that kind of project, we try to bring the persons who can actually help us in the area. We know we want money. We want people to help us write proposals, project proposals to seek funding. We try to attract persons with that skill set that can help us. We have a health fair. We can have nurses and doctors in our fold. Like I admire Dr. Goddard. So we have those in our fold. Even if he cannot do it, he can point you to areas where the help can be realized. Also, we spoke about addressing community needs all the time. Yes, needs assessment is the way to go to address community needs. And we heard about your club, your way. So the way the club see it fit on best, that's how it is done. And at the end of it, we are working to make life a little bit comfortable for our community, members of our community. Volunteer recruitment, we have been hearing about 1.5, mission 1.5. Yes, it is a way to bring new persons in, and we have a bunch of prospective lions lined up to come into our fold. Again, while there is this 1.5 figure out there, we also must have strategies to attract and retain our members. We wouldn't want to just to bring somebody to make a 1.5 target and do not have the proper screening and background checks and the proper orientation and exposure to what Lions is. So to bring into our club, so that we must have some strategies that we use to attract them and not looking for persons to come and make up, to give you a figure that you're working with. And then up a morning down the line, they would say, well, I didn't come to the club to sell tickets. I thought I was just coming to this, and those sort of things. So those are things we would look at when we are strategizing how we are attracting our members. Also, to retain them, we must have system in place to retain our members. And now we see we have lots of new members, but not new, younger members who are coming into the fold, and you do not want to cross with the older ones and the new ones, and the older ones and the young ones, I dare say, because I call myself young, and in my club, I'm deemed as old, the old lion. But at times, you have to stand your ground. But we have to find ways and means to retain our members with the projects we plan and how we are treating with our members so that no one will leave. Future direction in our district, there are emerging needs, and in emerging needs, we know of mental health. It is a big thing across the Caribbean, not in no one country. It is there, mental health and domestic violence and child abuse. Those are new things or bigger things that clubs are asked to work with persons in the community with. Again, we know about collaborating, so we can also work with the various entities that can assist here with mental health and those other areas. More service partners needed because of the magnitude now. We want to tap in on more service partners. We have more clubs, we have more persons, so we need more service partners to help us to plan and execute properly. We will want to have people with the correct competence, the technical competence, to help us there. And innovative approaches, we could find different ways in doing our work this is a tech savvy era. Lots of persons now are tech savvy. So we can have technology in giving some of our delivery for service, like online fundraisers. COVID-19 taught us very well how to embrace the technology. We have online and the parties also online using the technology. So those are areas that we can tap on and expand. Conclusion and a call to action, the importance of Lions Club service can make a difference. Well, we all know that the service is the main reason why we join a Lions Club. And with that, we have a chance to help people locally, regionally, in your zone, in a different country, wherever there is the need. We all know that there is a lion. We also learn and grow, and we share our time and our ideas in whatever we plan as our project or for our project. We learn from each other and we got ideas and we share what we have in order to help us to have some impactful service project. And call to action. It is known that, well, not known, it is said that Lions is the greatest secret service, or because we do a lot of things and sometimes we do not report and publicize our work. So publicizing it more, we can attract more persons, more business people who can give us more of that finance that we need to execute more projects. It will also help us to have more volunteers coming on board and work together to have our activities and our projects come off for our less fortunate and those in our community. And of course, when we do all of that, we must thank our volunteers who work hard, those who donated their time and their money and everything, because hearing that these are the things that we have to do to help our community. And as long as we have this niche and we do it together, there is no way that anyone in our community can say that they do not benefit from what Lions do. I would like to thank you for having me here, and I hope I will help you. And what I would have imparted is what we all are continuing to work towards. Thank you very much. Any questions? I'm sure we will assist in answering.
Is there?
Any question, Lions, for Lion Lynette? Okay, Lion Lynette, thank you so much for your presentation on service impact, sharing with us tonight about the different projects that we Lions do in our community. All right, thank you so much.
Sorry, Chair, before you go, I was trying to get a question in.
Oh, I didn't see a hand.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry, my apologies. I
Go ahead.
wanted to question, how do we as Lions clubs go about showcasing what we do, but yet not coming over too boasty? You know, some people want service and we help a lot of people out there, and we're pressed to say we need to show visibility and publicize what we're doing. Yet sometimes being mindful of who we're supporting, we don't want to put them too much in limelight that they feel to be an object. So is there a way in how we do what we do from a PR point of view, a media point of view, spinning? How can we put over what we do without being too invasive or it being too boasty what we do yet, but yet still be representative?
First, yes, we encourage promotion, we encourage visibility, and boasting in terms of Lions boasting of what they do. That's what you're asking.
Well, a sense that the onlookers who say, oh, the Lions are just showing off what they're doing. We want to
Yes.
publicize what we're doing, yes, but still stay within the lane that is not too much.
Well, what I can say, we can focus on the service and the benefits the members of the community they receive. And that is why we have to have testimonies and testimonials from these persons. Put what they say rather than highlighting a lot what we do. Let the community speak from the benefit they would have, what the service they would have benefited from us. When the community speak, the person who in need speak, it will send a different message. It will show that the Lions are there and they're helping the less fortunate. Sometimes with that, you may even get some sort of support. Somebody might want to say, oh, well, we will donate. Because we had that in our club. We always focus on it. When we focus on the less fortunate, we try to put a lot of what actually happened and stay away from too much of photographs with lions, especially photographs with lions who are posing and not working. If you work, you send a different message from if you're just posing or for a photo op. So when we did that, persons reach out to the club and offer assistance to help us to make that project a bigger project. So we can highlight, but highlight from a humanitarian point and not the point where we're showcasing ourselves, where we're always doing something of you here and you're just posing. Showcase from the way where the working standpoint and let the community speak of what they would have achieved.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's so vital to what we do, because there's a very thin line between boasting and serving the community. And I think from a service point of view and our service chairs, when they're putting out all the PR blogs to remember the persons whom we have served. And as you rightly said, get them to give testimonies or even show them in action with a project or receiving or doing something that shows the Lions are committed and connected to the community in whatever we are doing. So thank you for an excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Lions? Okay. All right. And again, thank you again, Lion Lynette, for your presentation on service impact. And now we will have our closing remarks by Lion Judy King, Progressive Melvin Jones, First Vice District Governor.
Thank you, Landon. Distinguished Lions, yes, Leos, my fellow Lions. The agenda shows that my task is twofold, the closure and then vote of thanks. But I will take the liberty to switch it around a bit and do the expressions of gratitude first before I close the session. I read somewhere that information, whether digital or physical, is food for the brain, and so it is therefore no accident that we call new ideas food for thought. With this in mind, and as we savor the thoughts shared this evening, let me close this session by offering ice cream desserts to all who participated. Thank you must go first to our special guest speaker, Mark Lyon, Second Vice International President, who spoke with passion about still being motivated by the service his club gives to his community. We present to him a familiar treat with a touch of the Caribbean, a banana split with whipped cream and chopped nuts. To the district governor for his warm greetings, a nice bowl of rum and raisin ice cream. Council Chair Lion Carlisle showed the excitement he has felt through his Lions journey as he took us through the benefits and obligations of members. For you, chocolate ice cream in a fluted glass with a cherry on top. Lion Hyacinth effectively invoked God's presence, and for that, he deserves pistachio ice cream with butterscotch topping. 9 Eldridge, your history lesson on lionism. At the start, you mentioned that history is not a popular subject. I am sure if you were my history teacher, and possibly to a lot of the listeners here this evening, we would have all passed the subject with flying colors. Thank you for making the story of lionism exciting and enjoyable. For you, a Devon Stout. You probably don't know what that is, but when next you come to Jamaica, I will make sure to take you on a historic experience to visit Devon House, where the best ice cream in Jamaica can be found. Lion Sherwin, financial obligations of members. Well done, my friend, as you handle this very sensitive topic. For you, vanilla ice cream, into which has been folded bits of your favorite fresh fruits. Lion Lynette, the service impact has shown us through your presentation how much our service has grown since the appeal from Helen Keller in 1925. I present to you a 2-scoop sundae with colorful sprinkles and whipped cream. To the coordinators and members of the GLT, led by the dynamic leader, Lion Diane, supported strongly by GMT, led by Lion Daffodil, for planning and executing the program, Apple Pie a la mode. The IT team for excellent technical support, a beautifully decorated ice cream cake, and of course, something special for the online audience. Your lively question and answer sessions presented opportunities for clarification and more thought-provoking discussions. So, for your invaluable contributions, you deserve ice cream cones in any flavor your heart desires. There's an African proverb that says, gratitude is the currency of kindness, enriching both the giver and the receiver. We are the receivers of the information and have certainly been enriched by what has been shared. And it is indeed my honor to have expressed gratitude on your behalf to the planners and presenters involved in this new members orientation session. Prospective members, Leos, my fellow Lions, we have come to the end of a most impactful session. It was our joy to have heard the perspectives of distinguished Lions who have so eloquently shared their knowledge and experience. As the information was shared with guests who have expressed an interest in learning more about this noble organization, the team of presenters, in clear and concise fashion, took even those of us who are seasoned Lions through what can only be described as a refresher's course. It's amazing how even now, after so many years, as part of the Lions family, there is still something to learn or to be reminded of that will help us to ignite the flames of service. We all need to support these kinds of sessions. Prospective members, we know that what you have heard today has motivated you to take the next steps. So we anticipate that within a very short time, you will be members of our Lions family. Thank you all, and God bless. Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much, Lion Judy, First Vice District Governor, for that.
You're very welcome.
Good night, everyone. Lion Judy, namesake.
Hi.
I'd like to vote. I'm Judy from Greenhill.
You're not coming across clearly. I'm sorry. I'm missing out on what you're saying.
Good night, Lion Judy, Lion Marvin here.
Hi, Lion Marvin. How are you?
I am enjoying my ice cream cone.
Oh, I'm so happy you are. And you deserve too. You asked a lot of questions and gave suggestions.
Lion Judy, you never ever disappoint. Thank you so much.
I love that
You
vote of
are
thanks.
very
So I'm
welcome.
enjoying my ice cream. So how are things?
I'm doing well, thank you. I am doing very well. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Looking
How is
forward
my
to
good
seeing you
friend?
guys soon.
How is Blind Claudette doing?
I saw her on her birthday. I
I
haven't
have to
spoken to
get
her
it.
since, but I'm sure she's doing okay, or I would have heard.
Wonderful. Okay.
All right.
The numbers are still the same?
Yes, yes, they are. But she had problems with her phone. I think it
Oh,
has been fixed. Try again. Yes.